I don't remember the exact day the pain started, but I remember the moment I realized it wasn't leaving. It began as a quiet ache. Nothing sharp, nothing dramatic. Just a small pressure low in my abdomen that came and went like a passing thought. I ignored it. At first, it was easy. People ignore worse things every day. I was busy, tired, distracted. The pain was just another thing I could push through. But pain has this way of growing when you're not looking. A few days later, the pressure deepened into something heavier, like a stone inside me that I couldn't shift. I'd sit at my desk at work and suddenly feel it pulse, slow and deliberate. I'd place a hand on my abdomen without thinking, pressing down gently, pretending I was just adjusting my shirt or scratching an itch. But the truth was forming in the back of my mind. This isn't going away. Still, I stayed silent. Silence felt safer than admitting something might be wrong. Admitting meant acknowledging. Acknowledging meant facing. Facing meant changing. So I didn't say anything. Not to my co-workers, not to my friends, not even to myself. The following week, the ache turned into pain. Real pain. Sharp on some days, deep and dragging on others. Pain that made me shift in my chair every few minutes, trying to find a position that didn't make it worse. Some nights it woke me from sleep. I'd curl onto my side, hands tucked against my stomach, waiting for the wave to pass. It always did. But it always returned. One afternoon, it flared so intensely that I had to lock myself in a bathroom stall at work just to breathe through it. I pressed my back against the cold wall and closed my eyes, trying not to let the fear rise to my throat. When a co-worker knocked on the door and asked, "Are you okay?" my answer came instantly. "I'm fine." I wasn't fine, but saying the truth out loud felt too heavy. The pain changed again the next week. Now it brought nausea with it. A sickening churn that stole my appetite and made meals feel like obligations. I lost weight. My clothes felt looser. I blamed stress. When I stood up too fast, I'd feel dizzy. A quick rush of darkness at the edges of my vision. My hands would shake. I blamed dehydration. When I woke up sweating at night, the sheets damp, and my body trembling. I blamed the weather. Every excuse I made was a way of protecting myself from the truth I didn't want to face. The body, however, has patience, until it doesn't. One evening, the pain tightened so suddenly it forced a sound out of me. A small involuntary gasp. I sat on the floor, leaning forward, arms wrapped around myself. It hurt. Really hurt. But even then, between breaths, the thought that came to me wasn't, "I need help." It was, "No one can know." My fear wasn't of the pain. It was of the possibility of being taken seriously. So I hid it. Days passed. The pain grew. My silence grew with it. Then came the day everything cracked. I was at home, folding laundry, when a wave of pain hit so sharply it stole my breath. I dropped the shirt I was holding and grabbed the edge of the bed, trying not to fall to my knees. My vision blurred. My skin went cold. I felt like I might faint. I reached for my phone. Instinct, panic, desperation. But when the pain eased a little, I froze. I stared at the phone in my hand. My thumb hovered over a name. A friend. Someone who would come in minutes if I needed them. But shame. Shame is heavy. I put the phone down. I lay on the floor for almost 10 minutes, breathing slowly, waiting for the pain to loosen its grip. It did. Slowly. Reluctantly. Like it wanted me to understand something. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt a throb. A reminder that ignoring something doesn't make it disappear. The next morning, when I caught my reflection in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself. My eyes looked sunken, my posture was tense, my skin looked pale, and there was something else. A look I hadn't seen before. Not fear, not exhaustion, something quieter. Acceptance. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that forms when denial finally cracks. That afternoon, I sat on my bed with my legs crossed, hands in my lap, breathing carefully. The pain was steady, deep, persistent. I whispered out loud for the first time. Something's wrong. Not yelling, not crying, not panicked. Just honest. The honesty was small, but it shifted something inside me, like opening a window in a room that had been closed for too long. I picked up my phone, dialed my doctor, scheduled an appointment. I didn't tell anyone, not yet. But for the first time in weeks, I didn't hide from myself. I wasn't brave, I wasn't fearless, I wasn't confident. I was tired of hurting, tired of pretending, tired of carrying something alone that didn't have to be hidden. The pain didn't stop. Not that day, not the next, but it changed meaning. It wasn't a secret anymore. It wasn't something I was burying. It wasn't something I was running from. It was something I was finally facing, and that made it feel lighter, not physically, emotionally. The truth is, pain doesn't get smaller in silence. It gets quieter when you let yourself speak. And when I finally did, really did, something inside me softened. The fear didn't disappear. The pain didn't vanish. But the loneliness did. Because silence was the heaviest part. Pain grows in silence until you finally tell the truth.